Greetings, YouTube. Today's article I'll be discussing comes from Fred Clark of The Slacktivist, who's a wonderful human being and has come up with many beautiful sayings over the years, and this is one of them. To acknowledge the meaning of justice is always to be judged. Uh, the SJW business doesn't involve an argument contrasting opposing views of the nature and meaning of social justice. It doesn't involve some ideological dispute between competing visions of proper role of state or of law, markets, civil society, neighborliness, etc. It's a wholesale reaction to the idea that social justice in any form is worthwhile. And I might say, it's a complete abdication of the idea that social justice has any validity. I don't speak as eloquently as Fred does. In any case, we have seen the insult employed millions of times over against people who have spoken out against racism and sexism without even the slightest hint of a moral crusader self-righteousness. Treat their criticism of racism and sexism maybe as utterly understated as, hey, that's not cool, or come on, you don't want to be turn into that guy. And they still be subjected to the scornful label SJW. The sentiment expressed might even be the mildest, most non-controversially minimalist, non-threatening statement imaginable. Black Lives Matter. And still, the response is SJW. One of the comments down here was appropriate. Let's see if I can find it. Okay, I've always been perplexed by people using SJW as an insult. If you're placing yourself in opposition to social justice, you're explicitly identifying yourself as one of the bad guys. And I find it a useful form of shorthand, as someone pointed out in a comment thread, that if someone uses the term SJW, that you can just ignore them from now on. They have ceded the field of battle. They have admitted they have nothing to say. And so just move on. You don't need to discuss things with them. Depressingly, I've encountered a lot of that in the gaming community on online forums. It always disturbs me. So many of my fellow gamers seem to be of a position that social justice is something that they oppose. That's depressing. But I encounter it here on YouTube the most, of course. At the very hint that something could be sexist or racist or it could be homophobic or Islamophobic or any other form of bigotry, and people will label you SJW. And there always seems to be a certain smugness about it, like they found you out, like by slapping that label on you, they have somehow shown the world something that you had hidden. And I'm really baffled by that. Because if I'm saying something about rape culture, or I'm talking about the All Lives Matter bullshit, or Blue Lives Matter bullshit, I think I've been pretty explicit and open about the fact that I am for social justice and I am opposed to bigotry. I don't think I'm hiding anything there. And yet, there's this smugness about it. And it's juvenile and kind of amazing. It's like someone rushing out into a storm and saying, see, rain. Okay. It's just sad. And I don't even know if the people using the term understand what they're doing. Has it become a meta comment where it's just in, the repertoire of insults that they throw out with any opinion that they don't like? Like if people say, or I've used the term bigotry many times, but I don't accuse someone of bigotry or label them a bigot unless they have committed the act of bigotry. So I don't just toss that out ahead of me, but it's not like, It's not dividing the oceans in front of me as I move through life. That's a reaction to what they do. But it's appropriate because they've actually committed an act of injustice. So if they're just tossing it out like that, I guess in some ways it's a symbol that I've succeeded. I have in fact committed an act of social justice. It still means that I can filter them out because they're wasting pixels on my screen. That's fascinating to think about, I guess. I hadn't realized I'd arrived there when I started this video. Well, there you go. So I recommend people reading Fred Clark. He's wonderful. So go read the article and tell me what you have to think. What do you do when someone uses the term SJW?